Man of God who gave us the sermon today all the way from the United States of America, Your Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and all my colleagues who are here. We all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And Pastor, I ask you to pray for us. And when I entered this church, this sanctuary, and found the choir singing, I felt God's presence. I truly felt God's presence. And it has taken Your Excellency Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka to bring us to this church. Pastor Mose, I want to promise you, even in the absence of my boss, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, I'll come back to this church. I'll come back. And if we do not meet the target, the next time I come to this church, I'll come with a balance of that target. When your dear wife was talking and you were hearing the sermon, and from you at the beginning, and I listened to the sermon very carefully, you are talking about our pain, our affliction, and coming out of this election, we have been in so much pain. But I read somewhere in Matthew that come to me, all ye that are weary and are heavily laden, and I shall give you rest. I've come to this church to seek rest in the name of the Lord. Finally, there was a time when I was in Machakos, and I was speaking of our boss here, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, and I said he's one of the cleanest. That's gone. Bole. I said in Machakos that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is one of the cleanest politicians we have in this Kenya. And I want you to know, church, Stephen Kalonzo here is not here as a politician only, but a person who truly believes in the Almighty. I know not all that say God, God, God are servants of the Lord, but I know you, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, you are really a servant of the Lord. I said in a funeral in Murang'a, when there were many senior politicians, that very few politicians will go to heaven. Me, I think Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, you will go to heaven. Because you are truly a man of prayer. You don't pray for people to see you praying. And I've known you for a long time. Stand together with your brother, Raila Amolo Odinga, and I think this country will get to where it should, but only when we follow the word of the Lord. Faith is very important. Hope is very important. And I pray that all of us should not become hopeless or suffer from despair. I think the Lord has something good for us coming. Not coming tomorrow, but the signs can be seen today if we truly pray to the Lord. I want to say that Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka and Raila Amolo Odinga, if there's God's will, if it is really that God's will, you will rise up and lead this country to greater greatness. You know, faith There's a lady in the Bible called Sarah, and she had faith in the Lord. And the magic of faith made her get a child when she was 90 years old. So you and Raila should not worry about your age. You should worry about your faith. With faith, you are going to get somewhere. The very last that I want to say, even Kenya Power and Lighting, they are saying those who are paying for electricity are now not paying as much as they were doing before because the economy is depressed. The signs are showing that we are going to have more suffering, where you have a government which does not believe in subsidizing the poor. It does not believe in subsidizing those who cannot have a square meal. I can tell you that that kind of politics and economics will not get us anywhere. I believe the true hustlers come to this church in a little corner and they give their tip, whether it is 10 shillings, whether 100 shillings, Pastor Moses will bless it and the Lord will receive it as if it is 1,000,000 shillings. You have seen this government of hustlers where people are measured in billions. You cannot be able to be a member of this government because you cannot have those billions. We will represent the